When I was asked to make this presentation, I thought about what will be the most useful for anyone in any phase of their lives and careers. And it was clear to me that it has to be about leading at your personal best. I thought of many projects that I have led and managed, both professionally and personally, that I can say that I was leading at my personal best. And when I think of what I did that was common in all those projects, what I found were these 5 practices. So today, I'm going to share with you my 5 practices that I consistently do when I'm leading at my personal best. So what is leading at your personal best? This is what Oxford Dictionary says. So now that means the best time or score ever achieved by an athlete in a particular event. So what? Translating that definition into what do you achieve when you are leading at your personal best? An increased probability of making extraordinary things happen. I'm sure these next 14 minutes will be fun for you and useful for you. At work, I am the Director of Product Management at Intel Corporation. And personally, I'm a mother of 2 young children, an entrepreneur, a wife, a daughter, and a sister. So as you can tell, there are many projects that come my way, both professionally and personally, like they come to all of you in all phases and stages of life. The important thing to keep in mind is that every project that you take on provides an opportunity. It is either an opportunity to do things the same way you have always done, or it is an opportunity to reach another level of excellence. Each one of us can strive to lead at our personal best, regardless of our hierarchy in the organization, and regardless of whether it is a personal or a professional project. Because determined by a formal position. It is about action. And leadership is everyone's business. So get excited as I take you through what are these 5 practices that if you do more frequently, it will make you more effective. When kids prepare for college admissions, they often join some series of mock tests before their real SAT test. The idea is to work on your strengths and learn from your mistakes over and over again. And more often than not, their scores follow an upward trajectory from these mock tests, ultimately giving their personal best when the actual SAT test day arrives. So my first practice is continuous learning. Although there aren't many mock tests in real life, each experience is an opportunity to learn. But the learning only happens when you reflect and analyze your performance. And because when you do that, you become more conscious of the choices you're making and how well you are acting on your intentions. This reflection will give you the valuable lessons that you can then apply to your next project to further up your standards of leading at your personal best. You see that when leading at your personal best, you keep pushing yourself and upping your levels. So your personal best keeps growing as you grow. So moving on to my next practice, leading by example. In one of my milestone projects at Intel, I was given a completely new problem where neither me nor my team had the background understanding or knowledge to be able to effectively solve that problem. As a lead for that project, I rolled up my sleeves and delved into gaining the understanding of the problem and identifying what will be our strategy to win in this project. Once my team saw me doing it, they started digging in too. And soon I had the intrinsic commitment of my team members that we are ready to face this challenge wholeheartedly. That was one of my personal best projects, where we accomplished our target at a third of the time budget allocated to us. To get commitment from your team and achieve high standards, you must set the example by your own behavior of what you're expecting of others. For this, the first thing to do is find your own commitment to the shared values. So then you are able to express them in your own authentic voice. Your actions speak more than your words. So your words and deeds must be consistent. You go first and show with your daily actions that you're deeply committed to your beliefs. And do take time to build consensus around the shared values. Because no matter how hard you try or how much power you have, you can't impose your values on others. Unless the values are shared among all those who are working together, you won't get your team's deep commitment. And how do you set examples? By working side by side with your team members, by telling stories from your own experience that make the values come alive, by being there and visible during times of uncertainty, and by asking questions that help people think about the values and the priorities. So that takes me to my third practice, which is inspiring vision. Almost all of my personal best leadership experiences were when I was super duper enthusiastic about them. And my own excitement was like a spark that ignited the flame of inspiration among others in my team. When you envision the future by imagining exciting possibilities and attractive opportunities for you and your team, and combine it with the desire and confidence to make it happen, you can start painting the picture of the future that your team is inspired to accept as a vision of their own. As a leader, I'm able to enlist the people into my vision when I am able to relate to their dreams and aspirations. Once your team has latched on to the vision that you have painted, you have their full strength and power under your wings to chase that vision and realize it together as a team. My fourth practice is challenging the status quo. Believe me, when you're working at your personal best, you're always bringing some change. Be it developing a new product, creating a world-class service, starting a new business, or changing the process of how things are done. Invariably, that means challenging the status quo. As a leader, you are a pioneer who is willing to step into the unknown territories, to search for the opportunities, take initiatives, look for the innovative ways to improve. But a leader doesn't do it all. I don't do it all by myself. Innovations often come from people on the front line, and process improvement usually comes from the people who are doing the work. So as a leader, what I do is search for the opportunities, recognize the good ideas, and support those ideas. Be willing to challenge the system to get the new products, services, or processes adopted. As a leader, you have to be willing to experiment, take risks by constantly generating small wins, and like I mentioned earlier, learn from the experience. Small victories, when piled on top of each other, build enough confidence to meet the big challenges. And failures are inevitable. There will always be some. When you're trying new things, there will be times when you will fail. But great leaders are great learners who create a climate in which people can learn from their successes as well as their failures. That takes me to my number 5, building trust and empowering stakeholders. As a leader, if I want to perform at my personal best, I must identify all those who have a stake in the vision. So everybody who has the stake in my vision is my stakeholder. This means not just my direct reports, but also my peers in sister organizations, managers, customers, and suppliers. Basically, everyone who must live with the consequences of that vision should be made a trusted partner and be enabled to do the good work. Once my stakeholders feel trusted and empowered to use this discretion and authority, they are more likely to use their energies to produce those extraordinary results. Once you have set up this strong foundation for yourself and your team using these 5 practices that I've mentioned so far, there is one more thing that you need to do, and that is feeding everyone a constant dose of encouragement. When facing the challenges on the road to the victory, people can become exhausted or frustrated and may get tempted to give up. But simple acts of recognizing people's efforts and celebrations of accomplishments and small victories will go a long way in keeping your own as well as your team's morale up to carry them through the tough time. So I encourage you all, as I do it to myself, to keep working and enhancing yourself in all these practices. And as you get better at these, you will be able to keep pushing your own personal best. That's all I have. Thank you.